In today's news, right now, one of the leaders in this crypto space resides with Europe. Thanks to meeker regulations, the European Union have already started laying out the framework for mass adoption of crypto assets. And thanks to the latest XRP developments and announcements just coming in from European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde, we are starting to see more and more adoption, mass adoption of crypto and especially of XRP. Millions and millions bought, and this is only going to accelerate from this point here as banks are now buying financial technology, partnering with and buying therefore Ripple's technology. As we can see firstly here in this post from Smoke, the European banks are rolling out regulated crypto trading services for retail customers, people like you and me right now, which is massive news and proof of this accelerated momentum. And the best part of all of this is Ripple and XRP, one way or the other, they are involved, they are a part of this momentum, part of this shift happening right now. We saw this major announcement come from DZ Bank just a few hours ago. A huge step towards mass adoption of crypto, and DZ Bank will enable 700 banks to offer retail customers, people like you and me, the ability to trade and store cryptocurrencies in licensed fiduciary custody. This means retail investors will now have access to regulated institutions that securely and responsibly manage their crypto assets. These institutions are legally, by law, required to protect and safeguard digital assets using advanced security measures, and it is all starting right before our eyes this year, 2024. It is all starting right now. This is the mainstream crypto adoption, the mass adoption, coming to light, accelerating before our eyes. The European Union seems to be leading the charge. And how? Does this relate to Ripple and XRP? You ask, how are they involved? Well, DZ Bank, the ones who made this major announcement, are already in partnership with Ripple and XRP. Ripple is a part of the Digital Euro Association as well, so there's that on top of this as well. Point being is the Great Reset. Institutions have been talking about, which my last video spoke about that as well, the mass adoption of crypto and blockchain is already happening, and make no mistake, Ripple, whether it be from behind the scenes through their partnerships or center stage, Ripple are contributing to all of these major developments. And again, we are starting to see an acceleration in these developments, which in due time will correlate to an increase in accumulation and price in the crypto space, as European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde confirms in this conference talk, this interview here earlier today, that banks are buying fintech. Listen very closely, because this is very bullish.
We find ourselves in the midst of a digital revolution that echoes the technological boom of the 20s. Just as that era saw major development in electricity, automobiles, mass production, our era is witnessing an unprecedented growth in digital technologies. In particular, the rapid development of artificial intelligence looks set to transform a swath of industries, including the financial sector. Financial technology is already having a profound impact on finance. In 2022, fintech generated 5% of global banking revenue, totaling anywhere between 150 and 200 billion US dollars. This share is expected to exceed $400 billion by 2028, growing at a clip of 15% per annum. What are banks doing? They're not sitting idle. They're buying fintechs and adopting their technology to enhance their lending operations. By changing the nature of financial intermediation and fostering competition, fintech can significantly strengthen the transmission of monetary policy decisions to the wider economy, influencing interest rate, asset prices, credit conditions, and ultimately growth and inflation.
Europe will help sending crypto and especially XRP to the moon. But the world is not far behind Europe right now in regulations in crypto adoption. Even seemingly America now are making their last-ditch effort to catch up, which is very important to understand, very big news, and we will cover this in just a moment. But this is a sort of research you need to help better understand, navigate, and hopefully profit in this market, which is why I created a free-to-join Discord server. 340 of us right now are working towards achieving financial freedom, and we are growing every day, so by all means, come and be part of the family. Link to join will be in the description below. In continuation though, in this post here for Bitcoin Magazine, we have this video covering Senator Loomis's general counsel saying that the SEC actually gave BNY Mellon, one of the largest banks in America, a variance approval to move forward with Bitcoin and crypto custody. Basically, special permission to BNY Mellon and BNY Mellon alone to custody crypto. Listen closely.
there's been a bipartisan eruption in both chambers. The House passed Fit 21 with 71 Democrats, and we actually hit the magic number of 60 on the SCB 121 repeal in May, and getting 60 votes in the Senate's like climbing Mount Everest on a piece of legislation. So I think there's a great deal of bipartisan interest in both chambers. One thing I neglected to mention in my update too, that potentially has some bearing on the SPDI is Bank of New York Mellon is looking to get more involved in the crypto custody business. They had some problems with Staff Accounting Bulletin 121, and the SEC has apparently given them some kind of variance from SAB 121 to move forward. And also, part and parcel of that is the Fed, as the Fed regulates Bank of New York Mellon's bank holding company, they would have had to have given their non-objection under current legal requirements and guidance to Bank of New York Mellon getting into the digital asset custody business. So
in that vein, I mean, any sense, are they going to go through the BIT license process with the state of New York, or are they kind of looking at alternative options, or
Bank of New York Mellon?
Yeah.
So they're going to argue the BIT license preempted, very likely.
This is massive news for America, and kind of surprising if you ask me to hear this, as it goes completely against the persona of Gary Gensler and his SEC's anti-crypto stance. But this is basically confirming that this has just been a front all along. He has given special permission to BNY Mellon, the Wall Street boys, while limiting everybody else, which is just corrupt to his very core. Now, I am sure you know by this point the SEC have been getting ridiculed, or are about to at least, in front of Congress recently following their anti-crypto stance and the fact they used a made-up law to blindside the legal system. I wish that status didn't sound more absurd, but it's the long and short of it. The SEC admitted and apologized effectively that they made up a law to blindside the legal system, that they lied to the courts once again. As a result, we have some updates regarding the lawsuit. We are now roughly 60 to 70 days away from the deadline for the SEC to appeal the decision for Ripple to receive a $125 million fine. But due to this recent development and apology by the SEC, the fact that the SEC commissioners, all 5 of them and Gary Gensler included, will be testifying next week, there is now rising speculation that they won't appeal this decision, and Ripple will go forth in signing a settlement deal and officially make XRP the only asset in the United States with legal regulatory clarity, which would be a massive accomplishment. And the speculation has only increased with Robinhood relisting XRP, which was huge news, with Grayscale adding an XRP trust, the first one in the United States. As we can see here, it is doing very well. XRP ranks first in Grayscale's weekly overview of top 10 crypto assets by 1 week returns, and not to mention here, the XRP trust is seeing 11.44% NAV growth since its launch, which is showcasing rising institutional interest in XRP. We have also seen millions and millions of dollars worth of XRP being scooped up from the market recently, which is unsurprising to me. The XRP trust and increasing international adoption and demand, Ripple's influence in Europe, and the crypto custody happening with DZ Bank right now, and Christine Lagarde, the European Central Bank president, confirming that banks are buying fintechs. XRP's takeover and price explosion, to me, is closer than ever. Mass adoption is starting this year, and the proof of Ripple's dominance can be shown in just 4 pictures. These 4 pictures right here, the Ripple Swell event, and we will obviously have Ripple's biggest members there: Brad Garninghouse, Monica Long, Stuart Oldrotty, James Wallace, you name it. But pay attention to the non-Ripple members that are going to be in attendance. Superintendent at New York State Department of Financial Services, former chair of the FDIC and founding chair of the Systemic Risk Council, the BBVA, Coinbase, CME Group, Visa, Northern Trust, Chairman, CEO and Managing Principal of Metropolitan Capital. The list goes on. There are so many massive names that are in attendance at this conference right now. So that alone should showcase to you just the dominance that Ripple and XRP has in this space already, and it's still growing. So the time is now. Ripple and XRP won't remain cheap forever, so do your own research, come chill, chat and learn so much more in the free Discord server. Get the links below. But remember, don't look short term, think long term, and I'll see you in the next one.